one thing that I wish I knew sooner is that I don't have to think that what I do now would be something that I would do in the long run. You can pivot anytime. Like you built this business to have like a freedom when it comes to like decision on what you're going to do next.
Welcome to Spill the Creativity Podcast, the podcast where we will be having conversations with other creatives that will inspire us, keep us encouraged, and push us to reach our own goals. This is the place where we will be acknowledging the hard truths because while this path is fulfilling, the truth is there's no easy way to do things. It all takes hard work. We are going to be talking about the good and the bad about choosing a creative career. If you're looking for a cup of stimulation for creatives, a warm cup of tea in this otherwise bittersweet pursuit, then you're in the right place. So let's get that cup of tea and get on with the conversation. Hey everybody, welcome to Spill the Creativity Podcast. Today I have another beautiful woman with me on the podcast, and this is actually the first time we ever talked on camera. We just talk to each other on DMs and all that. I thought that it would be best to invite her for today's topic because a lot of the things that I would say creatives aspire is location freedom, like the digital nomad life. A lot of us explore the creative lifestyle to live out that life. And it's so fun, to know somebody who is actually living that life. So without further ado, let us welcome Sarah. Hey, Sarah, how are you?
Hello, I'm doing great.
So this is not going to be uploaded as a video podcast yet. So if you can't see her, she has this really nice morena glow, fresh from the island. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Yeah, before we get into all of that Bora lifestyle, why don't you let us know first what you do and how long have you been doing this?
So, hello again, everyone. I'm Sarah. I'm an aspiring digital nomad, already a digital nomad. And at the same time, I work as a social media strategist for service-based businesses. I started working remotely late 2020, and I've done different roles before I really got into the digital marketing field. So all in all, I've been working remotely for 2 years now.
Before you became a freelancer, I would say, what did you do? What were you before this?
I was a former hotelier. So I've worked in the hotel industry for about 7, 8 years. And yeah, as we all know, during the pandemic, all resorts and hotels closed the operations. I was living in California back then. I was having my internship, and then when we all got laid off, so we had to figure out what to do next. So yeah, I decided to come back here and then just wait it out, see when the border is gonna open again. But unfortunately, it took a while. I decided to, while waiting for another opportunity to be able to go abroad again or work, go back in the industry, I decided to work remotely meantime while waiting. So that's how I discovered, virtual assistant jobs, the different roles when you are working remotely, what are the positions that are available. So first, I've done customer service jobs because I thought, it's in line with what I was doing before. So I did that in a completely different industry. It was a BPO setup. I didn't really like the experience. So I shifted from that to, customer service, reservation, sales in the hospitality niche. So I've done that for also a while. And then after that, I tried, digital marketing, Facebook ads. So I was a Facebook ads manager for also a while, a year. And then after that, I shifted to social media marketing, specifically. So being a social media manager, strategist for service based. It's not a linear path, a straight path.
Yeah, I love it. So how long did you stay in California?
I was there for 6 months, as in 2020, from January 2020 until end of May 2020.
Oh my gosh.
I was working in a resort. So that was my dream job, dream life, American life, as they say. So I thought that's going to be my path, it would fast track my career, getting a management position if ever I go back here in the Philippines or I continue to stay in the US if there's an opportunity. Kasi yun talaga yung inaay kong dream life before. And actually, like during the pandemic, I also tried, like getting a student visa going to Canada, or maybe, Canada is a better choice than the US because like in the US, like it's not getting better. So, okay, let's try Canada. But unfortunate enough, like my visa got denied. So it was actually like, I think I was really just trying to like run away from like living here in the Philippines. I don't know why. I think because I didn't see the opportunities that like that's in front of me. I thought, it's better for me to live someplace else.
It's so funny, I guess, that you wanted to go to Canada and then you end up living in an island. I mean, Canada is very cold.
I know. Kaya nga, like, while I was applying, I was really slowing, the process because, like, I know, like, hindi ako buo yung puso ko talaga.
Winter girl.
Yes. So parang I was like, I just wanted the experience for sure. Like there's a lot of opportunities there to waiting for me. But is that really what I want? Or I was just trying to like, chase something that, like other people's are chasing. Parang ganon. And actually
I
like
love it.
late 2021, nag-apply ako like sa cruise ship naman. Kasi okay yung cruise ship, nag-open na ganyan. And then since I really wanted to travel so bad, parang yung cruise would be another opportunity for me to be able to like travel internationally, ganon. At the same time, doing the job that I love. So, when I got my Siemens book naman, that's actually also shortly after I went to Bora and decided to like not go back here in Manila, like miss my flight here in Manila. Yun nangyari naman. Puro siya plot twist.
Yeah. I love
Tapos
it.
nung like yung okay, andyan yung opportunity, aalis ka na ba? Like urgent na, like need mo nang umalis after mong ma-interview. I'm like, I really took the time, parang think through it. Like, okay, mag-decide ka na. Yes, nag-training ka, kinuha mo yung like Siemens book mo, but again, is this really what you want? Like, or parang tumatakbo ka sa life mo here and sa opportunities that you can build here because you are chasing something that is no longer meant for you. Parang ganon.
But what was going on in your head? Because based on the stories that you're saying, like it seems like this was the dream, right? Like you want to go to US. When it didn't work out, you tried out Canada. When you got home, you tried out the cruise. And then when you're finally there, what was it like? Was there like a gut feeling or like...
Yes, of course, it wasn't an easy decision for me, but I think yun nga, you have to think of your goals, I think. Like, okay, if I leave this industry na alam natin as a freelance industry, like there's a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of possibilities that I haven't really tried and I haven't really, like dived into. Iiwan ko siya and then babalik ako sa dati kong industry exactly knowing what's the path is gonna be like. Syempre, pag nag-work ka doon, it's gonna be like work, work, work. Okay, promotion, work, promotion, ganyan. And then, like, alam mo na. Yun. And also, like, I was already in Boracay then. Parang I was like, living like eat, pray, love kind of life.
Yeah.
So, sabi ko na, oh my God, parang ang peaceful ng life. And, dun ko na start to realize na here, life is simpler. And yeah, like, okay, I don't really need a lot of material things to be happy and to be content. So, dun siya nag-start na mag-sink in. Nung talagang mag-isa na lang ako, yung wala ako sa bahay namin, wala akong naririnig na outside noise, like ako lang mag-isa.
I love that you said that because most of the time our decisions are not really ours. Like we are just influenced by everybody else around us, mostly our parent. And I guess as we are trying to figure out what is meant for us, parang no one really knows. I mean, not our parents, not our family. It really has to be something that you really have to take time to think about. My parents naman, ang laking bagay sa kanila yung hinayang factor. Parang nasimulan mo na so dapat ituloy mo na yung ganon.
Actually, like, until now, kaya ako nag-decide na mag-move out. Kasi, like, I still hear, yun nga, yung parents ko. Like, although I know that they're coming from the place of, concern and yung malasakit, ganyan. They still think na living abroad or parang going back sa dati kong job would be the best or ideal career path. Kasi they don't know naman what I'm doing Anong ginagawa mo sa bahay, ganyan. Nagko-computer ka, ganyan.
I think that's also one of the conversations that we need to have with our parents because ibang-iba yung generation natin with them. Like, yun nga, same din. I feel like I also experienced that. Actually, until now, my family still doesn't understand what I do. Like, every time na uuwi ako sa amin, parang they would be like, so, what's your job? And then,
Stable ba yan?
Just to put things simply, sinasabi ko lang digital marketer. Like, bahala na kayo mag-isip kung ano yun. Basta digital
Ako
marketer.
din, like marketing.
But yeah, that is so interesting. And I love what you said na parang puro plot twist yung
Puro plot twist.
nangyayari.
Yeah, like hindi lang naman yun basta, oh, magde-decide ako ganyan. Like, a lot of tears were shed. May resistance into doing something new. 'Di ba? There's a lot of resistance kasi comfortable ka na dun eh. And yun nga, since alam mo na yung magiging path mo dun, you know that it's gonna be comfortable, it's gonna be nice, it's gonna be ganyan. And calculated yung risk or yung, alam mo yun, yung mga concerns, alam mo na rin. So, yun, I think, yun nga, yung parang really putting your 100% dito sa new industry or, you know, like shifting or pivoting your career is really scary, lalo na if you do it alone.
Yeah, that's true. And I feel like that's also one of the things that is keeping a lot of people from trying this thing because even if we see nowadays, no, we see a lot of success stories in the internet, you know, people buying all these things and people investing all these houses, cars, whatever. Pero it's still not as common as, let's say, for example, if you graduate with a medical degree. Alam mo yun, parang set in stone kung ano talaga. And I guess it takes a while then for the people around us to really understand what it is that we're actually doing. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, parang inisip ko, sakto lang yung risk. It's just that it's an
Yeah.
unknown,
It's an unknown path, unknown
yeah, unknown
journey.
path lang siya.
Yes,
Pero,
kasi ito-try mo lang talaga. Again, like, it doesn't mean
oo,
that you tried, you're gonna be successful. No, parang, like, ano, di ba, there are a lot of rejections, ganyan, that you need to face on. And I think, like, we're not wired to, like, accept rejection easily.
exactly. And going back to what you said, now you know that your parents, the concern is really coming from a place of love and they just care for us. You know, they don't want us to fail also. But yeah, like now that I'm thinking about it, success can't be achieved without failures. And I would say like the best way to achieve success faster is to go through the challenges or the failures.
Yes. Parang fail forward nga, sabi nila.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so let's take a short step back. I was just wondering, so you were in the hospitality industry. You were set on fulfilling your hotel dreams. So I'm pretty sure that this was something that you didn't see for yourself probably mga 5 years ago.
No, like hard no. I would say like first year of working remotely, I didn't like it. Again, I'm just doing this while I wait out for, you know, like the borders open up, ganyan, para I can leave na, ganon. So I didn't like it. I don't like working remotely. I don't like being alone. I don't like working alone. Like, no. Knowing my personality, like I'm a very social person. I'm an extrovert. So like, I need the community. Yeah. So, yun. That's why I keep, you know, like parang trying. Okay, stepping back, trying, ganyan. Parang, oh, sige, try natin mag-Canada. Ah, hindi. O sige, try natin mag-cruise. Yung may ganun ako kasi parang I really struggled doon sa part na yon na, you know, like, again, working as a freelancer, yun nga, if you don't have, like, the support, it's hard.
Yeah, for sure. You have to figure it out on your own talaga.
Again, yes.
Yeah, even if you have coaches and ako, like, suki ako ng mga courses. Like, ako yung
Same.
tipong kailangan talaga.
Kailangan may matatapek.
Oo, kailangan may matatanungan ako kasi sobrang, ano talaga siya, unknown talaga siya. Like, paano ba to? Like, even if my background ka sa marketing, it's still an entirely different thing. I need somebody to talk to. I need somebody to ask and like someone
To
to tell
figure
me
things
these.
out together. Yes. Like, or what's the easier way? Kasi if you don't know something, especially like tech, di ba? Like sa tech pa lang, you would consume a lot of time if you figure it out alone. And if you know, finally figured it out, oh, there's a better way pala of doing this na it won't consume a lot of your time.
Exactly. Yeah. So, okay, now I'm curious. What was the turning point na? When was it when you realized that, okay, I think I like doing remote work?
Nung finally, I faced my fear of traveling alone. That's the thing that I know I've been thinking about for like, kasi nung pandemic, I still was able to travel locally. Sinusulit yung mga discount flights, ganyan. Kasi I also free dive. So I'm a free diver. There's this opportunity like in Bohol that you can join the team, live there for free, and then they will teach you how to free dive. But like part-time, you will work as an assistant coach or assistant free diver. Parang mag-assist ka sa mga coach. But may work din ako na remote. So I think oh, I want to do this. Parang I want to join. But like, I'm scared. Like, I'm really scared. I don't know what's it gonna be like. Oh, I might not be able to like meet nice people, ganon. Kasi like, you're on your own. And again, like as an extrovert, like I think a very social person, I always consider to have friends to travel with kasi for me, like it's more fun, syempre, to share the experience. So when my friend and I actually like went to Bora, it was 2021, I remember, January 2021. I know na there's a gut feeling na, oh my God, this is my chance if I'm gonna try it or not. So I packed like a month worth of stuff and all my work, like gadgets. And then when we were there for like a week. So in the middle of that, sinabi ko na sa kanya, like, friend, I don't think I wanna go home. Like, help me find an apartment. Yun na yun. And yung my friend, like, he's very supportive. Talagang sinuportahan niya ako. Sige, friend, like, samahan kita, hanap tayo. Kung ito talaga yung gusto mo. And hindi
Oh
ko sure
my
kung yun talaga yung gusto ko.
gosh.
Hindi ko sure kung yun talaga yung gusto ko. Again, like, parang ayoko lang umuwi. Yun na yun. Parang ayoko lang umuwi. So, when we found an apartment na may internet, ganyan, and saktong-sakto siya sa needs ko, yun, hindi na ako umuwi. So, it went on and on and on until, yun na, nag-start na yung, parang island hopping. Island hopping.
Oh, okay, okay. So the way I'm seeing it, working remotely made your traveling dreams come true. Would you say that that was the case?
Yes, absolutely yes. So I was thinking, yes, when I was still working in the hotel industry, I was able to travel a lot too. Kasi nga, like, meron din kami mga perks, mga discounts sa hotel, mga partner hotels, ganyan. And yeah, parang I was able to travel. But it's always like 3 days, 4 days, 5 days max. Like, that's the only time you can get. But like here, working remotely, I was able to do slow travel. And by that, if you travel slowly, you build a community of your own based on similar interests like traveling, working remotely, free diving. So I think yun na yung talagang parang turning point ko din na, oh, I'm building, like I'm meeting new friends. I'm meeting new, like I'm having a new community like wherever I go na these friendships are formed based on similar interests, not just because we're workmates.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. And okay, so I just came home from a trip
Yeah, I saw. I saw.
and then I realized that I feel like slow traveling is also my thing because I just realized that I don't like packing my schedule with, like
It's
tours, events.
exhausting.
It's so
Yes.
exhausting. Like, ugh. So I don't know, like maybe on my next travel, I'm gonna consider like try slow traveling. So I don't know, but definitely I'm not gonna like do the digital nomad lifestyle because I already started building a family. So, and I have a dog
It's hard when you have a dog, actually.
and
But
it's
like, if
expensive then.
you don't have kids yet, you can still do it.
Mm.
Actually, it's so surprising to see na a lot of digital nomads also, they bring their kids. When I was in Bora, I have a neighbor. Dala niya yung kid niya. Both of them are working remotely and then they have like a toddler. So yeah, it's possible. But with a pet, I think it's gonna be harder pa nga kapag pet eh.
Yeah, I think so. Not all establishments are pet friendly and
Yes, correct. And if there is, like, they're more expensive.
yeah, for sure. This is so cool.
Yeah, they stay for like a month para then hindi sila pagod, They're just in one location, they set up everything. Kasi, like, living a nomad life is exhausting actually. Kasi you're working at the same time, doing activities outside your work. Parang you try to balance it. So you really need like yung discipline, routine. You also set up your routine. That's the thing with slow travel. Like, you can still set up, yourself for work and then spend like aside time for like socializing, having fun, ganyan. But when it's like work day, it has to be like a work day.
Yeah, okay. So now that you kind of opened the topic about living the life as a digital nomad talaga, not just, like a traveler who's there for vacation. I know you touched on having discipline and all that. Maybe you could expound more on that. So how was it like for you? So I know that you went to Bora as a tourist and then
Yeah,
eventually you sort of eased yourself in as a local. So how was that like
yes.
for you? Feeling ko yung number one question ng mga tao, kamusta yung internet?
So, yung decision ko there, of course, siya like parang not sure, gano'n nung una, kasi again, like, yung main concern is the internet, right? Like, if we cannot deliver the, deliverables or the job, syempre, like, mako-compromise naman yung work natin. So, what happened is that I was able to survive the 8 days staying in the hotel with kind of weak internet, but I was able to manage it, but kind of stressful. So, the apartment that I saw actually has fiber internet. So, that's actually, if I didn't find it, wala, uuwi ako. Yun lang yun. Like, hindi ko mapapursue to. Parang yun yung naging, niya, start talaga.
So it's also like a matter of looking for the right location
The
talaga
right location, exactly. Like,
that would support your lifestyle nga.
yes. And the work that we have, the technical
Yeah.
requirements of our work. Yeah, when it comes to like internet sa Bora, di ba? So now, there are coffee shops na has fast Wi-Fi. Again, it depends. Like if you're just doing emails, virtual assistant, tasks, I think it's easier. But when like you're having different tools na heavy tools, ganyan, yun kasi yung medyo mahirap. Like I think like for you, I don't know how easy it is for you na may mga tools kang ginagamit, ganyan, may downloading, uploading kasi yun yung mga need mong i-consider. This year naman, dapat din, 1 week lang ako, like kind of a year-end trip lang last year. So, actually, kasi finorce ko yung sarili ko na girl, parang kumalma ka. So, wala. Like, with 1 week worth of clothes, ganyan, nag-decide din ako na parang no, like, this is, like, it wouldn't be right if I go home. Parang, this feels right to be here. So, yeah, nag-extend na naman ako na nag-extend until, yun na, parang nag-decide na ako na kumuha na ng apartment. So, I don't have to like, roam around looking for internet, ganyan-ganyan. And nagpakabit na rin ako ng internet ko.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool. So parang nakaset ka na for a year there regardless of whatever happens or like whatever your decision will be. Ang galing.
Yeah, jump lang talaga. Like, if you're thinking about something and you feel like it's right, yun lang. Parang you just have to do it and not overthink it. Kasi again, like, what happened nga, diba, was like, I did overthink like for like about a year before, traveling solo. So it took me that 1 year na overthinking lang. But then when I finally did it, parang I discovered na, oh my gosh, parang I wish I would have done this, parang way sooner.
So let's talk about overthinking. I love what you said na parang you spent a year overthinking and then when you did it parang okay, yun lang pala yun. It only took one decision for me to do it. So I
Yes.
know that it's so much easier said than done because I did that too. Before quitting my job, parang it took me like 1.5 years to finally acknowledge it to myself na hindi na ako masaya, parang ganon. So I guess with your own thought process, what can you share with our listeners who are, like thinking about making decisions and, being stuck in an overthinking rut? Like, what was your trigger na parang, okay, ito na talaga to?
Kasi diba, like overthinking, I think it's normal for all of us when, we want to try something that is unexplored or we don't know the outcome yet. And then, yun lang, it's not healthy to live in your head all the time. Na parang you overthink. Like sa job din natin, diba? Like what we do, parang when we get clients, rejections, ganyan, parang we form like a belief in our head na, oh, hindi, or I'm not cut for this, ganyan. But like, I guess, career-wise and, traveling-wise, I would say na even though, like, I've been traveling solo for, like, over a year now, there's not a day that, when I book the flight that I don't get anxious. Like, I still do. Kasi I still have the thought na, it's gonna be like another solo travel again. It's gonna be awkward. I may not meet, nice people. But then, like, it always ends up like the opposite way. I always end up having the best time. So, like, the belief that sometimes, like, we form in our head, like, is actually not the reality, of course. So, you would never really know until you try things out. And, the sooner you try things out, the sooner that you're gonna get the answer. Yun lang siya.
Yeah, I love it. Na parang, okay, sometimes the scary things are all in our head. Tapos pag andun ka na, parang, oh my God, parang pinatagal ko to ng 1 year, tapos ito lang yun.
Yeah, and actually, a liberating experience. But I know it's so easy to say, but of course, like, we have a lot of things to consider then. I'm not saying that it's applicable to all people, especially yung may mga kids na kinoconsider or other responsibilities na kinoconsider, ganyan. But for me, I think traveling solo has also been the way on how I cope with a lot of mental stress, ganyan, anxiety. So it has been my way of coping.
I love it. And I think like with all that you've experienced also, it's also good to know that is it safe to say na you like your job now? Na okay ka na sa remote work mo? Okay ka na
Yes.
as a social
Yes.
media girly?
Yes. So, travel is open again, ganyan. So, okay, andyan na yung opportunity again, left and right. And, it would play in your head again na parang, oh my gosh, like, what if I go back again, ganyan. Like, it would be, a fun experience again, ganyan. I don't have to, like, figure out a lot of things alone, ganyan. But, yun nga, okay. Kakausapin mo rin yung sarili mo, like, okay, if you go back, ito na yung lifestyle na ititrade mo. Is it worth it?
Yeah. May trade-offs talaga. Oo.
Yeah. So, alam ko na yung answer. So, no. Hindi na ako makapag-dive. I won't be able to travel longer.
Actually, yun yung thing eh. Like, pag na-experience mo na yung freelance life or like a job or, I don't know, like an opportunity where you can manage your own time and do things at your own pace, ang hirap nang bumalik sa 9 to 5.
Yes.
Kahit ako din, parang hindi ko na kaya. No? Parang, I can't. Like, I can't be in an office. I can't be like in yung cubicle.
And then plus the travel time pa, di ba? Not to mention the travel time. Like here in Manila, oh my gosh.
Okay, so that is so nice to hear that parang everything fell in place. Like the universe really works in like mysterious or like in strange ways. Feeling ko, yes, talaga ako yung nag-assess. Na feeling ko like at the onset, like traveling was really your thing. I feel like, siguro like the thing that was going on in our heads, maybe with our families also, na in order for you to achieve yung traveling dreams mo nga, you need to be in this particular industry para magawa mo yan. Pero when it was taken away from you, parang the universe presented a different and a better opportunity for you to achieve your ultimate dream, which is to travel pa din. Parang different lang yung means, parang ganon. Pero same ending.
Correct. And then yun nga, parang there's a lot of resistance kasi ayoko siyang tanggapin fully. Parang hindi ko siya ina-accept fully. But when I finally accepted it, like, okay, this is your life now, parang a lot of opportunities, started happening.
Yeah. So I was wondering, meron bang parang regrets on all things, di ba? Meron namang pros and cons. So far, we're hearing a lot of pros. Are there like any cons that you would want us to know about or like at least be careful about if there are other people who are also planning to do the same thing as you did?
For sure. It may seem from the outside like, oh my God, living the life, ganyan. I guess no regrets when it comes to like finally deciding and like always pivoting, trying to figure things out kasi at least nalaman ko like saan talaga yung interest ko, like ano talaga yung a role that would challenge me at the same time would excite me to be doing every day. I guess first that you need to consider talaga is, I guess, yung safety. Kasi at the end of the day, yun nga, parang if you're traveling solo, you don't have anybody like to take care of you or to look out for you. It's just you. Kaya yun. And you don't want to wait for an incident to happen before you be careful. So yun lang. Like the basic. And yun nga, just parang try to like find your tribe kasi you're gonna find them. Like now sa Boracay, we have a Facebook group like yung work from home in Boracay. So you meet a lot of freelancers, remote workers there. And some of them actually are part of the course that I'm in. So every weekend, like they're my community. Parang we meet, ganyan. Watch the sunset together. Parang we plan some activities, ganon.
Ang ganda. I mean, nag-watch kayo ng sunset habang nag-engage, habang
habang nagli-lead gen. Iba na pala yung nililiid
habang
gen.
nag-lead gen.
So, yun nga, it has become easier now. So, if you're just planning to do it, do not overthink it. Connect with me. I'm very happy to help.
Okay, sige. We'll talk about like how they can connect with you and maybe you can share with us also yung online community that you found para, like they won't be as scared. Would you say that your personality, because you said na you were an extrovert, parang would you say that that has helped you? Because I'm also thinking like there are people who are very, very introverted and maybe it might be a bit more difficult for them to kind of like look for their tribe.
For me, I think yung personality ko nga na it has become easier for me to connect with people. Naturally, talaga, like, I would talk to just anybody. I think like madami ding introvert na they like spending time alone. So what they do, yung parang yun nga, pupunta ng beach alone, magbabasa ng books, ganyan. Yun. Like for me, I think it's just easier kasi nga, super daldal ko. So, ang dami ko ding namimit talaga. For introvert, kasi I also have like a lot of introvert friends. Parang they have a way of doing things na comfortable sila. Kasi sometimes, ayaw nila ng loud or mga ganun, ng crowd. Yeah. Actually, I would think nga na yung mga introvert, nagta-thrive sila sa ganitong lifestyle eh.
How about naman yung common misconceptions that like we see on the internet? Because parang isa to sa mga hinahype ng mga coaches and I mean mga programs na if you want to live a digital nomad life, freelancing is for you, ganyan.
It's so funny. Okay, first things first, you don't need to earn six figures to be able to live the lifestyle. Okay?
Yes, I love that.
Yes, kung yun yung selling point nila in selling something, guys,
Think twice.
yeah, don't fall for it. Charot. No, kasi, I have a lot of friends who are actually like working a 9 to 5, but they're working remotely. And, like lahat kami, sama-sama doon. Again, it's not only for some people who are earning six figures, multi-six figures, no. And it's not actually expensive to, like, you can live within your means if you're traveling, if you're working remotely and living on an island. Because, like, for example, in Boracay, you have a lot of options. If you want to, like, save or if you want to not spend too much, like, then don't drink. Yun lang.
Mix your own drinks.
Yes! O kaya sa bahay, uminom ka na para sa labas, konti na lang. And yeah, how much would you spend sa karinderya, di ba? 100? 150? It's like the same here in Manila. And actually, ang matitipid mo is you're not using your credit card too much sa mga unnecessary online purchases. You're not spending sa transportation, kakagrab mo, which I think like the biggest expense here sa city, personally sa akin, yun. Yung lifestyle mo, ako kasi yun nga, parang sa akin, I can live without this. Yung ganong, na. I think like I'm happier living on an island na having a simpler life na hindi focus sa, alam mo yun, material things or sa mga unnecessary spending. Kind of like a minimalist life somehow na you just focus on what brings value to you and what enriches your soul. Parang ganon.
Ganda nun. Yeah, actually, kasi parang, especially now, we are exposed to yung mga how people should, quote-unquote, live their lives. And sometimes when we come to think of it, we don't really want what they want. Parang, it's just that everybody has it. So parang you feel like, kailangan ko din ba ng bagong kotse? Kailangan ko din bang travel luxuriously when you can travel naman na like within your budget or something like that. So I feel like traveling for you kind of also made you be more introspective of who you are. Parang the way you were sharing your story, that's when you finally figured out kung sino ka talaga, kung ano talaga yung gusto mo.
Kung sino talaga ako. Yes, like without the outside noise.
Okay, so how about naman, do you have advice for people who want to take a chance on like living, not necessarily like, an island life, but living in a place that is not considered home or parang, I would say, conventional for them?
If you have the means to do it and you're just overthinking it, just do it. For some people, it might be difficult because like they have a lot of responsibilities, payables, ganyan. So it might be harder for some. But yeah, you have a lot of ways on how to do it. Like, for example, if you have a friend who's also working remotely, like you can chip in for the accommodation so it would be cheaper. Yeah, there's a lot of ways. Like you can cook, ganon.
Or like finding a roommate, ganyan.
Yeah.
So now naman, let's shift the conversation into more of like you getting into like the virtual space, being a social media manager and being part of the freelance world, I would say. One of my next questions would be, what is one thing you wish you knew when you were starting your freelance business or like your freelancing career?
One thing that I wish I knew sooner is that I don't have to think that what I do now would be something that I would do in the long run. You can pivot anytime. Like you built this business to have like a freedom when it comes to like decision on what you're going to do next. But like, of course, there's pros and cons. Like, okay, if you're trying to achieve a certain income and you want to really be an expert on something, like you have to do it. Of course, you have to do it for a longer period of time to like see monetary success. Like I would say if you want to build like an agency, if you want to scale, ganyan. But for me, again, like money, I think is not really the main reason why I dove into the virtual space. It's more like the lifestyle. And so that I can travel. Yun lang yun.
Yeah, and I want to go back to what you said. Now you tried different things before you finally settled into being a social media manager. For me, I feel like that should be how it is. Parang you have to experience what you need to experience
Yes.
for you to find out kung ano talaga yung gusto mo.
For me, it's like, really trying things. And also, like, now I do social media. I'm not gonna say that this is gonna be it. I think, like, it makes the experience more interesting.
Yeah. Because, like, with the digital space, everything is evolving. So, I would say, like, 10 years ago, wala namang social media managers. There were just, like, interns posting stuff on the internet. Yeah. So, like, who knows what's gonna happen in the next 10 years. So, it's very interesting. Parang ganda nung pinoint out mo na. Like, right now, you are a social media manager, but, like, it doesn't mean that
In the
you're
next
gonna
three
be that
years, yes.
forever.
Kasi as you evolve as a person, like, I think, yun nga, as we evolve as a person, di ba, parang our goals are changing also. Yeah, I just don't want to be, like, too hard on myself when it comes to, trying opportunities, because I know that this is something that what I've done before, even in my traditional career. So I'm just translating it into the virtual space.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. Okay, so like we're now down to the last two questions. My second to the last question, and I ask everybody who comes into the podcast this. It's a fill in the blank question, so fill in the blank. Being a creative or being digital nomad has made me or has led me into.
Has made me more resourceful, has made me more critical, and has made me more independent as a person, has led me to a lot of other opportunities, has led me to connect to, like, people who has the same passion and interest as me. And yeah, has led me to becoming a better version of myself.
And it all goes back to taking that leap of faith. Like 1 year of thinking about doing it or not. Parang it all led up to this. Parang I feel like finally getting over that overthinking hamster wheel kind of like exercised our muscle to, like now
Like,
parang
what to do
make more
na.
leap.
Oo.
Yeah,
And then, just decide on things. Like, don't sit on it for too long. Just decide. Kaya nga itong nangyari sa akin, like, parang naloloka ako. Pero I know na, okay, I'm just gonna figure out when I get there. Sige na nga. Okay, let's sign the lease na. Okay, sige, sana kung papakabit ng internet. Sige, I'll just figure everything else kapag ano na. I just wanna quote our favorite spiritual mentor, si Sam, diba? Like, I always listen to her podcast. Parang sinabi niya, there's an episode where she said that, like, we always think about, what's the worst that could happen without asking ourselves, like, what's the best that could happen? Because it's equally possible. It could turn out this way or this way. Both are equally possible.
I love it. And to those who don't know who Sam is,
Sam Chung.
so Sam is one of the two podcasters in our one of our favorite podcasts, Spiraling Higher. So they are Asian girls
Yes.
who talk about spirituality and creativity
Mindset.
and
Yes.
mindset, all those things. If you're also interested in that, we're gonna put that in the show notes. So yeah, I love that. Everything is 50-50. There is no supreme good and there's no supreme bad, come hand in hand. And I guess sometimes what is needed is just perspective. Like, for sure something bad will happen, pero are you gonna let that bad thing outweigh all the good things?
Like, traveling solo, like, there's two sides. Like, you can meet, like, like-minded people, but you can also be in a group, like, where it's not aligned. Yung ganon.
Okay, so my last question would be, if there's something that people should know about being an independent creative or being a freelancer, what should it be?
Something that they should know, this path is not linear. There's a lot of ups and downs, especially in the beginning, that you'll face a lot of limiting beliefs and self-doubt. So I think, like, my advice would be, like, really finding your community and people, and, like, know how to reach out and seek help, because a lot of people really want to help. You don't have to pay anything. Like, they are willing to help you. So you just need to ask questions. Kasi this is something also that I have to overcome. I don't like asking questions. I don't like, parang I feel like, oh, I'm not good enough if I ask questions. Oh, parang ganyan. So the more I become confident in asking questions, actually, the more I become confident in helping people. If you are on the verge of really trying it out, just know how to start. Like, of course, you have to, again, we're not advising anybody to just quit your jobs and just try it out, but be responsible enough to, of course, save up if you're gonna quit your job, or if not, like, talagang pagsabayin mo siya. Like, in the beginning, it's gonna be so hard, but it's gonna be so rewarding. I'm really happy na I can tap some people talaga in my network whenever I'm having difficulties, like tech stuff, and then other tools, like ganyan. Kasi like, di ba, ang dami natin ginagamit na tools, like sometimes it's our first time to use it, ganyan. So, as simple as that, like by tapping some people and then like figuring things out faster than figuring everything out alone, is actually a huge help in the journey. And yun nga, parang mag-open siya ng magiging mas communicative ka and magiging mas receptive ka sa feedback, ganyan. And also, like for me, yun nga, parang mas naging open din ako to like voice out my like tips, feedback, ganyan, opinions on the things na before, like kahit meron akong, I know that I can help people, like I would just, like stay mom kasi ayoko kasi parang I'm not worthy to like help people. Parang ganun pa. I'm not worthy to help people. Parang I'm not knowledgeable enough to help people.
The thing with, I would say, the virtual community is that everybody is very willing to help. Everybody also wants you to succeed. So I feel like that's also one of the good things that we should all maximize. Parang everybody is so helpful and, like they also really want to see you succeed.
And that's what I love about what we do now.
I love it. Okay, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. I super loved our conversation. Everything is so candid. Yeah.
Like, I'm so happy that we finally get to do this.
So, before I let you go and like do your city errands, why don't you let us know where the people can find you, especially like those groups and I would say like contacts that they can check out if they do want to get in touch for your services or for like tips on how to live a digital nomad lifestyle.
You can connect with me if you're planning to like try working remotely in Boracay because currently I'm based in Boracay. So my Facebook is Sarah Ifurong. My personal Instagram is Fins and Bikinis. It's also Fins and Bikinis kasi free diving and, island life. My social media Instagram account is Scale in Socials with Sarah. So just ask away any questions that you have. And I'm very willing to help.
Thank you again so much for sharing all those. If you didn't catch any of what she said, don't worry, everything's going to be in the show notes. So yeah, thanks again, Sarah, for all the value that you shared with us and for inspiring all of us that a lot of things are possible as long as we just stop overthinking and just do the damn thing.
Pack your bag and go.
Easier said than done, but we all can do it for sure. Yeah, thanks again, Sarah. And yeah, to everybody who's listening, I'll meet you again next time. Bye. Thanks again for listening to Spill the Creativity podcast. If you like this episode, I would really appreciate it if you can give me a 5-star rating on Spotify and a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. Or you can also take a screenshot and tag me on Instagram at Spill the Creativity Podcast, and you can also try the special filters if you want. Thanks again for listening to this episode, and make sure to catch fresh drops every Thursday morning. Bye!